if you can't do a motion at 20% speed, it's not gonna happen at 80% speed. If you can't do a motion at a half-length swing, it's not gonna happen at a full-length swing. So what we do in part number one is a swing length system. And what that is speed and swing length. So the first three levels of the system, you have to do a motion at 20% speed. That's where you start. Level one is 20% speed. I'm gonna go ahead and pop my live view on here, what we'll look at in a minute. So level one is 20% speed at hip high, which is hands hip high, hands hip high. If I can successfully do my movement at that pace, I keep myself at 20% speed and up the swing length. 3/4 swing and then full swing. So level one of practicing a swing movement, you'll see here I've got my line on my head. That's what I'm trying to work on, maintaining my head on the wall. I'm gonna do 20% speed, hip high, hip high. And so that's what my first rep at the range looks like. I want to talk to you today about Youve Golf. Now you guys hear me say all the time that you need feedback when you're practicing. You need to know if you're actually doing what you're trying to do, and the best way to give yourself feedback ultimately is video. And not only is video the best way to give yourself feedback, but being able to see yourself simultaneously as you're doing a movement is the best form of video feedback. It's the best way I've seen to make changes in your swing and be able to correlate the differences between your feels and your reels. Youve is super easy to use and set up. Simply set it up behind or in front of you. You connect it with your iPad or phone, pop that on the ground. You can actually do your practice, see yourself as you're doing it, the best way to expedite your process. I encourage you guys to check out Youve Golf. We'll put a link in the description down below with a coupon code. All right guys, so like you've seen in the title here, what we're gonna talk about today is what you've been doing wrong your entire golfing life. The same thing I did wrong for over a decade of trying to improve my swing and game, and that's really how you spend your time practicing and playing. Let me explain what I mean here. What I used to do when I would practice, and what I see a lot of people do here, is you get to the range to hit balls and practice, quote unquote, right? And what ends up happening is I start chasing a ball flight or a feel of the day. Okay, so I get up to the range, I start hitting balls, the ball starts going to the right. I spend the entire range session trying to fix that shot. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. A couple days later, I come back to the range, I'm hitting the ball left. I spend the entire range session trying to fix that. One day I hit it thin, one day I hit it fat. One day I have a random shoulder feel that works. The next day I'm thinking about my leg, right? It's chaotic. That's part one, is finding the priorities you need to work on and then actually working on those one or two priorities, which leads us to the second point of how do you do it? There's two non-negotiables when you go to practice. After you found out, hey, here's the one or two swing priorities I have to work on. Ideally you do that with a coach, right? There's two non-negotiables. Number one is the swing speed and length that you practice at. Now we're gonna show up here on the screen at some point how we do it at cogornogolf.com, which is you have to work through 9 levels. Just like you learn anything else, walk, run, right? How to drive, read, language. You start slow and short and build your way up long. That means if you can't do a motion at 20% speed, it's not gonna happen at 80% speed. If you can't do a motion at a half-length swing, it's not gonna happen at a full-length swing. So what we do in part number one is a swing length system. And what that is speed and swing length. So the first 3 levels of the system, you have to do a motion at 20% speed. That's where you start. Level one is 20% speed. I'm gonna go ahead and pop my live view on here, what we'll look at in a minute. So level one is 20% speed at hip high, which is hands hip high, hands hip high. If I can successfully do my movement at that pace, I keep myself at 20% speed and up the swing length. 3/4 swing and then full swing. So level one of practicing a swing movement, you'll see here I've got my line on my head. That's what I'm trying to work on, maintaining my head on the wall. I'm gonna do 20% speed, hip high, hip high. And so that's what my first rep at the range looks like. Now to scale that, I have an 8-iron on here that goes, I hit my 8-iron about 160 yards. And on that one, I hit that probably 60 yards. Okay, so that would be swing number one. Now, That brings us to point number 2, is what's non-negotiable. You have to know whether you did the movement correctly or not. No guessing. I need 100% certainty. Did I do that right or not? Which leads us to number 2, the non-negotiable, which is feedback. You need feedback. Ideally video feedback. You see we have our live view set behind, so I literally on my phone right down here right now can see myself as I'm moving live instantaneously. It is the best form of feedback possible. So when I actually do that rep, now I can go right back down and live view plays that back for me automatically. So not only can I literally see myself doing the movement right now as I'm doing it, I also can see after I hit right away it plays back. So I have no guessing when I'm practicing, right? So you need feedback, you need video, or at minimum, you need a practice station that yourself and your coach put together to guarantee it. So I'll do that again. That first one I saw was successful. Now, when I'm doing my mechanics practice, we always do 1 to 2 rehearsals per every hit. So what I would do is I stand here, and I'm gonna get recorded here. So I'm recording this. Now what I'm gonna do is do 1 or 2 rehearsals. I can see myself here, keeping my head on the wall. That's 1 rehearsal, that's 2 rehearsals. I'm keying in on what I'm feeling. Got the line down my head for feedback. And now I'm still going 20% hip high. And there's another one that I hit, about 60 yards. And so I'm gonna play that back and see, hey, did I do that motion correctly there? And if I did it correctly, now I'm moving up to level 2. Level 2 is I keep the speed the same. I'm still at 20%, but now I'm going at 3/4, kind of shoulder high. So I'm gonna hop back in here and I'm gonna play and re-record myself. And we're gonna go, keep the speed the same, 20%, but now instead of hip high, I'm going 3/4 length swing. Same thing, I'm doing 1 to 2 rehearsals, looking at my live view, seeing my head on the wall. That's what I'm working on. And now I'm gonna go ahead and hit 20% speed, 3/4 length. So there's my 3/4 swing. Now with an 8-iron, that ball probably went 80 yards this time. Now again, I'm gonna go ahead and watch that back and see, did I do the motion right or not? Now, if I'm able to do the motion on a ball or 2, I keep moving up levels. As soon as I get to a level where I'm stuck, then I stop there and try and make the movement with the feedback I have at that level. Let's say, for example, I move up to the next level and I re-record myself and I go full swing, 20% speed, feeling the same motion, but now when I do it, I'm not able to accomplish it. So 20% full swing, level 3. Let's say I do that motion, I watch it back, and I wasn't able to produce that correctly. What I do now is I stay at that level, give myself a couple of chances to exaggerate and fix it. And however far I get in that practice session is however far I get. If I can do a full swing at 20%, then I just keep moving up levels. Once I can do 20% speed, now I go 50%. So what I would do is I go back down to hip high, but I would increase the speed of the swing. So let's go ahead and do that for one. And again, notice as I'm practicing, 1 or 2 rehearsals, this is 50% speed, hip high. So a little bit faster motion, but still only hip high. Let's see if I can do this. 2 rehearsals, 1 hit. And so there, that ball's starting to go a little bit farther with the half-length swing. That's probably 80 to 90 yards instead of 50 or 60. And I say, okay, I can do that correctly or not, and then I keep going. Once I can do that 50% speed, I go to 3/4 length swing. So again, you'll see these charts on the screen of how the levels go out. You just keep working up. If you don't get it at that level, stay there or move back down. Those are the 2 non-negotiables in terms of changing your swing. You don't come and hit balls with no feedback, because you have no clue if you did it right or not. And you certainly don't come and do it with full swing, full speed right away. Our members of CogornoGolf.com, the expectation is, hey, after a week of practice, if you can do this at, say, 20% speed, full swing, that's excellent. After 2 weeks, maybe 50% 3/4 swing. After 4 weeks, maybe 80% half swing. You're gradually working your way up your levels, just like grades, pass each one, move on to the next. You need feedback. I, myself, and all of us at Cogorno Golf would highly recommend the live view. It's the best form of feedback to see yourself. Work your way up through the levels. If you guys have any questions, as always, leave a comment down below. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. If you liked the video, do us a favor, click that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Just another reminder, we did just launch our new range practice routine. If you want that, the full version of our range practice routine, we're gonna put range practice routine in the description down below. If you love online coaching, I certainly would love to coach you at cogornogolf.com. We'll also put that in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching.